Okay, it is your caramel love guru. Okay, I'm not even gonna do no talking in the beginning because I started reading these cards. Oh, this is a divine masculine reading because remember earlier I tried to do in the divine feminine reading, or one of the readings, I said how I was trying to do one and I couldn't do it because the divine masculine's energy was everywhere. Like it was to the point where I was like, I just don't even want to do this anymore. It's like, boo. This is not even making sense right now. My dog is Zulu. So literally like I'm moving the cards, all that, but okay. So I'm just so hyped because clearly it was a sign for me to wait and do this so that I could do it in a time when he was more clear in his mind. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, first we have look, Zulu, y'all gonna have to leave if you're not gonna let me shuffle. Okay, look, I'm touching you. Okay, clarify. Look, you see me doing something. I'm trying to love on you, Zulu. Give me a second. I'm gonna let him out. Go ahead. Sorry about that. My baby just be wanting loving all the time, and I'm like, he's sitting on me. He's sitting on me, and I'm like putting my arm around him. I'm like, come on, I gotta do something. I'm touching you. He's like, no, that's not enough. I want the rubbing. So maybe that was a sign that the divine masculines are trying. Okay. Maybe the divine masculines are trying to get the divine feminine's attention and trying to get confirmation about what really is going on, but they're kind of like, hey. Like the divine feminine is like, I have my arm out, do I not? Tell me that I don't. I have my arm out, right? So, give me a freaking sec. Or she's like, I have my arm out, go ahead, do what you gotta do. You're good. And he's like, no, I want the rubbing. I want what I got before. Or maybe that's whatever, you know, maybe what that meant will come into play. So with the Dragon Fae of Rebirth, let me get on with it. The Dragon Fae of Rebirth was pretty much like, you know, it was saying, the card means like, you know, when you go to a dark place and you go to the underworld, that's kind of what you do. When you're in a dark place and you feel lost and you feel all this stuff, it's because, you know, you were awakened to where you wanted to go, right? But at some point, the things that did make you go where you were don't suit you anymore. Or things that you did to get through this don't suit you anymore. So it needs to be changed so that you can prosper in this new and like keep going forward in this world. But sometimes you keep trying to go, but the more that you get hit with no, you're like, well, I'm so lost, and you keep going lower and lower and lower until you're finally hit bottom, and then you kind of sit back and you get quiet and you're like, yo, like, what the hell? What the hell? What the hell's going on? I don't want to think about all this stuff. I don't want to have to go through this. Like, why can't things just be the way that they were before? You know, like, but it's because you were taking foolish chances, and in you taking foolish chances, you were facing it. Because you weren't willing to change this thing that clearly wasn't suiting you anymore. Well, now we're gonna have to face the consequences of the actions so that you can figure out how to move forward or get stuck in the underworld. It's a never ending. Like, it's like you get the more that you feel lost, the closer you get to the underworld, until you're completely lost, and you either come up or you stay down. 2 choices. And you know, you were trying so hard not to focus on these bad thoughts that you weren't realizing that these bad thoughts were showing you what needed to be changed. These bad thoughts were helping you grow as a person. You know, like whenever you go through a time where you're feeling lost, it's because something within you needs to change so that you can get to where you need to be. And like, that is so crazy to me, because it's like, oh, well, if somebody would have freaking told me this, I would have freaking been listening to these bad thoughts and been in it so that I could get the hell up out of it faster. But it's like, you know, we're in a society now where they want you to be stuck. They want you to be lost. And they'll keep feeding you and feeding you and feeding you so that you can stay lost, so that you never find yourself. And I just don't understand what exactly is beneficial to anybody. What that is benefiting anybody. Who that's benefiting. But I guess the people who are getting, you know, like you ever okay, I'm sorry. Today's kind of a talking day because I feel like this is gonna be a really good message. But like I feel it. But like, you know how you go to school and you pay all this money, and you know, the best majors are the hardest. You have to be accepted into it. I mean, the best jobs that you can get are the hardest. The ones where you got to put in a whole bunch of work. You got to do all this stuff so that you can do it, right? Like dentistry, being a doctor, being a lawyer, right? All jobs that benefit the government. You think, how does dentistry, how does being a doctor benefit the government? Because in all reality, the government is teaching people to aid your mental disease. Daniel Boone says it perfectly. He says mental dis-ease. Mental dis-ease turns into sickness. Like, so what the government is trying to do is hide that disease, you know, hide it, get it away. Psychiatrists, they get paid money too, because they get paid to not listen to you, to not teach you how to get through things, to not give you tools. You know, we have good ones. We have good psychiatrists and we have good therapists, right? But we have also ones who are just like throwing medication at you. I went to therapy, and mind you, it really pushed me into finding myself, because when I went there, I was trying to express myself to the lady, and before she even got to anything, she only got to like talking to me a couple times. She's like, you know, usually I can diagnose somebody, but with you, I can't figure it out. So I went to a therapist, and she's like, I'm gonna send you to a psychologist so that they can give you medication. And I'm like, this is my first time. This is why I never wanted to go, you know? Like, she was trying to pretty much already call me crazy, already try to quiet my mind with medicine, with things that they have created to quiet the mind, rather than natural remedies, rather than telling me, you know, have you tried this? Have you tried that? Everybody wants to find a fast solution rather than to just go within. It's fucking crazy that, like, I'm sorry. Let's get back to this divine masculine reading. I just had to say that. I'm telling y'all, I'm a super conspiracist, so there will be all types of videos in here when I figure out exactly which ones I want to do. But right now, you know, everybody, I know that a lot of twin flames are getting towards union. So I'm really into helping them right now, because I'm going through the same thing. So if I'm helping, you know, in things where I'm kind of in it, you know, and then I can help guiding the newcomers and this and that, you know, all that. Like, I just want to go through and let's all get through it together. You know, I don't want nobody feeling alone. But in, you found your victory. You found like, it's like, you found, okay. You found victory. And there's a wisdom card under this whole again card. And it's wisdom as light as a feather. Oh, okay. This was the Dragon Fae. Oh, I love it because I love dragons. But then we also have little owlin. I love this. This reminds me of my mom. She like loves owls. But it says wisdom as light as a feather. So in you being in the underworld of yourself, and in your own underworld, being lost, you found victory. You found that little bit of wisdom. It's like, in the card it says you don't find wisdom through, like, everybody thinks that you have to do all this and do hard work and do what does it say exactly? Let me get that for you because they say it like perfectly. You sometimes believe that wisdom is harshly gained, strained for, sweated for, earned with your lifeblood, and so it is at times. At other times, like the one you find yourself in now, you find the getting of wisdom to be as soft and light as this owl's feathers. So when you got to your bottom, when you were literally like, you passed out and your body is just like going, like you've made it, like, or you were falling. Let's say you didn't get all the way to lifeless, to passed out. You got to, you are falling, like you're falling. But then you look around and you're like, wait, there's feathers here. I clearly got to the top before. Maybe I grabbed some feathers and made wings so that I could fly up. And that's what happens. That's what happens in those bad times. You find the feather, you find the wand, you find that little spark that's gonna bring you out of that and back to yourself and back to who you are. But as long as you remember, this is just me, this is just my advice here, as long as you remember that, because this is like totally what with this reading, I'm like getting realization myself, like, wow, I'm totally gonna think of it from now on like this, like, because I'm not gonna act like I'm some like person who just is like 100% healed and all the way there, because I'm not. Trust and believe, I'm still doing hella healing myself, okay? It's just like, in that, I'm like, well, every time I have a bad thought, I'm gonna take consideration into that thought and wonder why I'm thinking that. See if it's because something needs to change about me, or if I'm just being negative. And if it's, in either way, I can change both of them. Like, and that's, and I'm not looking like, duh, I'm looking like, duh to myself too, because I'm like, yo, if it was this freaking easy, it's been this easy. It's like when you say it, you know that you've known this. It's like, you know that you've known this, but just, me and my sister were talking, and she was like, like, somebody will say something to me, and it's like, I'm hearing it, I'm like, I don't get it. How do I do this? But then she's like, but then somebody keeps explaining it, and they say it in a way where it's so simple, where you're like, oh, like, I totally get what you're saying. And that's like your soul coming. You were being your sack real quick. You were just letting your sack walk and shit. But when you get little bits of wisdom like that, that's your soul getting back, like, come on, I've been trying to tell you this. Finally, you let it click. It's like, dang, I'll be trying, but it ain't all easy out here. But when the Divine Masculine got that, because the Divine Masculine realized that. He found the feathers. He found the wand. And now he's like coming back up. He's looking around like, oh, all these people who could have helped me. All these people who could have did something. All these people who could have been told me about this. All these people who could have did this. And they was just falling with me? Seriously? While the divine feminine was at the top. Because, you know, we are a little further. But while she's like up there freaking putting her hand out. And I pretty much, and because she took her hand away, I started floating, and finally I see it, and I see you. I see my divine feminine. You know, I see that I threw out BS. I see that I threw a bunch of just whatever's, not really being about the outcome, not really being about what's going on. And now, you know, I'm still clarifying out here. And now I'm chilling. I've had the time to look at my goals. I've had the time to assess, to evaluate, to look at my world. Because as I was falling, I mean, when I was falling, I seen everything. I seen it change. I seen it change from you holding me and keeping me, like, you know, like, say the divine feminine has been, like, the divine masculine was falling. Well, let's say this, okay. They were falling. They were both falling. But the divine feminine seen the feathers. And she was, like, trying to get him to see the feathers. She had built her wings and was, like, and kind of went up a little bit, but came back down and was like, come on. I know, I see these feathers. I made my wings. You make your wings. Like, come on, let's go. Like I found out how to make it out of here, babe. Like, I found out how to do this. And he was like, how I said, yeah, somebody can say something, but if you're not ready to see it, you're not going to see it until it comes in the simplest way. And then you're like, oh, like, so he is pretty much feathers. Like, you're flying? How? What do you mean? You're not, it doesn't look like you're flying to me, but it's like, she's like, I'm not flying because I want you to build your wings too and come with me. I don't want to have to go by myself. But when the divine feminine finally was like, you know what? You just want to keep flowing. You just want to keep floating deeper and deeper, and you're taking me with me, and you're taking me with you, and I have the ability to get out of here, but you won't let me. You know, like, you keep, like, but she's like, I could have did it myself. You know, and he's real, and pretty. I'm not trying to, like, say it like this, but I'm saying, like, pretty much she's like, she finally woke up and was like, whatever. He doesn't want to listen to me. He doesn't have to listen to me, but I'm moving up. So she takes her wings. So she gets her wings and she starts flapping away. You know, like, she finally was like, you know what? Just you keep floating down then. And he's just like, whatever, fine. Because when she was with him, it was all good because she was kind of not letting him fall too far. Like, she was like, I'm not about to take this long ass thing because you want to keep going far. I'm going to keep pulling you up a little bit, but I can't pull you the whole way. I'm not that strong. And so, like, she was keeping him higher, but once she left, he started going, shoo. Like, so that's why this is happening so fast. Because he's seen it. He's seen it when he looked at his world. And when he had the moment to retreat, and go within himself, look and see how he caused this. Like, you know, like, how there were delays, but it was delays that he was not, you know, recognizing that the divine feminine was being serious. Like, he wasn't recognizing, like, he realizes that it was because of him. The situation that he's in was because of him, pretty much. But now he sees the feathers, and he sees, where the divine feminine, she got the wings, yeah, and she just put them together and went up and was like, I'll fix my wings, like, and perfect them when I get above. But with the divine masculine, he's like, okay. Or we could say the divine feminine, she went up there and her wings were just a little messed up, because her wings were messed up because she was down there for so long and she kept trying to pull them up. So her wings got a little messed up. So the divine masculine is like, I'm gonna make my feathers. He makes his feathers into like these beautiful wings. Like, he took the time to make these beautiful wings. And so now he's thinking, when I get to the top, my wings are gonna be beautiful. So I know that I can get money for people wanting to touch them, because I took the time more to be able to build this better. So when I get to the top, not only am I gonna be able to have these beautiful wings, but I'm gonna build something so that I can repay my divine feminine, like, and more, for the heartbreak that I caused. Because he's like, I see that I was not sensitive. I see that I wasn't always there for her. I see that I wasn't always there for her. But now, I'm done with that. I'm done with that. I'm completing that. I'm not gonna be sitting around I'm not gonna ever do her like this again. I'm done with that cycle, and I'm ready to be with her forever. I'm ready to unite. I'm ready to be in union with my one. And everything is possible. Like, if I just built these feathers that I know when I come up top, I'm gonna get money for people wanting to touch them because they're so beautiful. So if I can do that, I can genuinely do anything. How many people thought about building their wings like this to be able to profit when they get to the top? You are unlike anyone else. No one else. That's who. Me. I'm the one who thought about that. I'm the one who did that. And my baby was right along with me and showed me how to figure out how to do that. She guided me. She loved me. She held me. Even when she could have left me. That's deep. That's deep. The divine masculines, they getting deep. But I only did 2 cards. This is how you know, okay? But so they're also like, I'm hyped. I'm hyped to love my divine feminine. Like, I'm ready to come towards her with something she ain't never had. Lovers, clarify, please. I'm trying to come at her with something she ain't never have, because I was too busy. I was too focused on, while she was trying to get me to see the feathers, I was too busy focused on looking at the people who were falling and just because they were falling and they were telling me things, it's kind of like I probably should have listened to the only person who was actually flying rather than the people who were falling with me, Like, listen, Like, you know that Scooby-Doo movie where they have like that like pit and there was all these souls in there and they had to go into the pit to get the soul out. And they were swimming in the souls. I don't know if it was a Scooby-Doo movie, but... And they were swimming in the souls and trying to get the soul out, and they had to try to pull it up. But think the divine feminine grabbed the feathers and made wings, so she is literally like able to leave when she wanted. But yeah. And he was too busy thinking. Not putting in action. Thinking about what he wanted. Thinking about how he wanted to treat her. Thinking about what he wanted to do with her, but not acting. You know? He also realizes he wasn't always there for the feminine the way that he should have been. There were times when he was doubting her and not believing her. And in this picture, you could tell that he's like, yo, this lady has given me the greatest gift, and she's just like, oh, I love him so much. This energy is so great. He's just like, I gotta keep my eyes open because I know she's chilling, and I gotta watch out. But this is amazing. He's like, there is nothing I would not do for this woman. There is not a mountain I cannot climb with this woman. There is not a planet I cannot get to with this woman. Nothing is impossible with this woman. Nothing is impossible with this woman, with my divine feminine, with Miss Queen of Wands. You know? He's like, I'm done coming with BS. Death card. I'm done coming with BS. I'm letting go of what I used to do. I'm letting go of what I am used to doing. I'm letting go of what I thought was right. I'm letting go of what I was told was right. I'm letting go of... I'm not being deceived anymore. I'm not being deceived by this karmic situation. I'm not being deceived by... I'm not being deceived any longer. You know, now I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for some divine timing. I'm waiting for the perfect moment. You know, I've let go. I've cut ties. I've become a peaceful king, a peaceful being for my queen. I have... This is a safe place for you to go. Right? This is talking about feeling... I'm gonna look that up because I know what I'm trying to say. But he's like, I'm waiting for the perfect time. I know. I'm waiting for the perfect time to give the divine feminine my cup. I'm literally sitting here waiting with my cup, looking and thinking and believing in and seeing this new beginning that could be. And before I was taking chances, before I was throwing out BS, before I was not about what I was saying. But now You have the Ace of Wands again. So now he's ready to give you something. He's seen the stick. He's seen the feathers. He is putting his feathers together. Like before, he's seen that he could make the feathers. He's seen it, but he's still too busy looking around. You know, he had to let go of this soul tie with his karmic partner, who was also falling, who he was also looking at with all the other falling people, while the divine feminine, he's not even looking at her to see that her wings, that she has, that what she's trying to tell him is, I have my wings and I can go up, but come with me. And the divine masculine is like finally realizing that, you know, like he realized that the feathers are here, that she was like literally telling him the key to get out of here. But now, you know, he's kind of gathered the feathers, but he hasn't started building his wings yet. He's gathered the feathers to start making it, and he has the blueprint, and he has what he wants to do, but he was still looking at his karmic situation, who was floating with him, and looking at all the people who were also floating below, who were telling him things, when in reality they're all falling. So why would you listen to people who are all falling with you? How will they be able to help you get up if they're not up? And you know, like, the thing is, also, I want to give a little advice, or also the divine masculines have realized this, and or for the divine masculines who haven't realized this, okay. Okay. I'm going to say this. We have the Queen Unag. A brilliant solution is on its way. So what's going on is the karmic partner is falling. This situation is falling. The whole thing is falling. And he's trying to figure out how he could get out of everything and give, or know when he is ready. Know how to come to the divine feminine. Yeah, you know what? I'm not even take away what I just said. I'm saying that the divine masculine has let go of these things. Now he's beginning to build. He has the blueprints. He has the blueprints, and he has the ideas. But now he's floating because he's like, okay, do I want to go to the top without my feminine? In all reality, do I want to go to the top without my feminine? My feminine's there, but how am I? Okay, not do I want to go to the top. I want to go to the top of my feminine. I want to go to the top of feminine. That's all I think about is going to the top of my feminine. But how am I gonna be able to face her when I get to the top? Because it's like, how can I look at her and see that her wings are damaged, and that she was giving me the answers, and that, or not completely the answers, but she was guiding me. She was trying to help me. She was trying to be there for me. And now her wings are like messed up. Now her wings are freaking. How am I ever gonna show her that I'm truly about this? But there's a brilliant idea that is going to come to you, that is divinely guided, that is perfect. A solution if you just breathe and let yourself think, it'll come to you. Because when you breathe and let yourself think, you're gonna face a bunch of things. You're gonna get through things that maybe might be hindering you a little bit towards going towards her. You're gonna be able